hopefully with these conversations, we can help change people's mindsets and show them that, bro, it's really possible. Like I'm not telling you because it sounds good. I'm telling you because I'm doing it, like legit. And every time we close, we're gonna talk about it. Like we're gonna show you that it's possible. Not bragging, but bro, I break down the deals. I tell you what it cost me and what it cost my partner, or if I did it by myself, however it is. Even if I have 2 or 3 partners, I still got it done. But I'm just saying, like, you can do it. Like, even if you don't have the capital to do it, then it's your job to go get the information. Get all the information. So therefore, your partner with the capital don't have to do anything if they don't want to, because now we're on equal footing. Because I'm bringing all the information
again. Yeah, you bring
I'm bringing the knowledge,
bring the capital.
Right, and you bring the capital to get it done. Or you bring the knowledge and the connections and get it done. Or you know how to manage a project and get it done. But like, dudes saying they can't get in, like, the dude I met, I'm like, yo, bro, there's so many ways to get in the game. Like, anytime you want, bro. Like, I'm out here in the job site, pull up on me. I have conversations with you all day.
All right, yo, what up? Welcome to episode 4 of the Brick by Brick podcast. My name is Stef, aka Stef is Dope. The Dope stands for Driven on Positive Energy. And I got my big brother Greg here. Talk to the people, man.
What's going on, y'all? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yeah. It's not our usual recording day. You know what I'm saying? We'll be getting it in. You already know, man. Can't stop, won't stop, brick by brick. So yeah, man. So first of all, big bro, how you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm blessed and highly favored, bro. Can't complain. How you?
I'm good. Like you said, another day, another dollar, another day above ground, man. We blessed. You know what I mean? Right. Yo, actually, I was thinking about. I don't know if we spoke about it. I think we spoke about it yesterday, but it's always amusing when people who know us separately, like, find out that we're actually brothers. Like, that shit is tight, because it's like, it's cool that like both of us are doing our thing, and at the same time, like, are solid individuals that niggas notice from different shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's always cool, man. Yeah.
Like one of my homeboys, I was like, yeah, that's my little brother. And he was like, oh, it makes sense now. I can see it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. Good energy out here, man. So but even I was talking about it yesterday on Twitter. I was like, man, like, you already know, like, we grant, so it's important to, I mean, like, when we come from a very strong name, our pop's name was also solid in the world as well, and very well respected. So, you know, I feel like we're just carrying on tradition. But down here in South Florida, like, there's something that we call keeping your face clean. I don't know if they use the term up in Maryland and DC.
So I learned that on that vacation.
Yeah.
Like, nah, right. Like, they don't use it up here. But yeah, I learned that down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep a clean face. I mean, we kind of say it, but not the way they do in South Florida.
Yeah. But basically, for those y'all who don't know, man, down here in South Florida, basically what keeping your face clean means is like, yo, keeping your reputation right, keeping your reputation solid. I mean, people use terms like face card and whatever. But long story short, it's like, yo, keeping a solid name, because not only do you stand on your name when you want to maintain a good reputation, but also that your reputation can reflect on your siblings, your parents, you know what I'm saying, your spouse, you know what I'm saying, whoever, your children, and different stuff like that, you know what I mean? So definitely keep your face clean, keep your name clean, and stand solid on what you stand on. Like, represent your last name and make sure that lives on and precedes you, you know what I mean? So do
good business, because it's funny. Do good business. Like, my homegirl, I think she's in Central Florida, if I'm not mistaken, but she moved from New York and moved to Central Florida. And I'm like, yo, buy a house, buy a rental property. You know what I mean? So anyway, she decided to do it. So we helped her through the process. And so, you know what I'm saying, I put her in my lenders, and they was kind of shaky at first when they were talking to her. I mean, they pre-approved her, but she just got a house on a contract, and now they're asking all the important questions. I mean, financial, you're good, but can you really do it?
Yeah.
And they were a little leery. And I mean, when she dropped my name, he was like, oh, okay. Greg, all right, cool. I feel comfortable now. So, you know what I'm saying, like, she hit me, was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, like, your name good out here. I'm like, gotta just keep a clean face and do good business.
And it's funny because I'm glad you mentioned that because I totally forgot to mention that. But that's a big part of it. I mean, I was talking about it from a life perspective and a semi street perspective, not really, because we ain't even really, you know what I'm saying, we ain't even on that. But that's really what it's about, man. Like, if you got a good name in business and a good reputation, you can continue to do good business, and that extends to your friends and family as well. You know what I mean? And that's why, I mean, for those of y'all who are listening, we probably said it a bunch of times, but the purpose of this podcast is to not only impart a bunch of game on business and all that, but it's about helping folks transition from whether they got a job that they hate and they want to get into investing in business and building their own thing, or they in the streets and they ain't trying to be in the streets no more and they want to get into something legal and legit. Like that's what it's about. So like, so for those of y'all who might be in the street and you might be scamming or whatever, like that's cool. It's not really cool because you can't, at the end of the day, like you run out of scams, you run out of people to scam. And once you got that on you, it's like that makes you almost less trustworthy. So keep your name clean, keep your face clean, because that makes your earning potential infinite. You know what I mean? So when you're out here doing bad business, there's a limit on that. You know what I mean? That ends one way or another. So keep your name clean, keep your face clean, do good business, and that's what it's about, man. So yeah, man.
Right. I know homeboys that like it's my homies, and like I hear about them. I hear about them in the streets, and I'm like, it's my dog. Like I know you forever, but do I really want to do business with you? Because you might try to snake me like you snaked out, man, and then me you got a real problem. So let's just not.
Let's not even go there. It's not even
right. Let's just not. Yeah. But that's just in business. I mean, that's anything, bro. Like you got to keep a clean face. And you gotta have principles and stand on it. Like I was telling my son, actually about like not even an hour ago. I don't remember what he did. It was something petty, but of course I got him back, and I was like, "Yo, bro, I live on principle. Like, man, I ain't got no principles, a whole scumbag." So yeah, you're like, "Damn." I was like a while ago, and I'm petty for getting you back, but bro, principle alone, I had to.
Yep.
You know, yeah, you're right.
He had to learn that lesson. You know what I mean? So that's real, man. That's real. So all right, now that was your free game to start the episode with. So we're gonna get into the real potatoes and all that. I don't want to say, you know what I'm saying, meat and potatoes, because we ain't about that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we're gonna get to the real meat and potatoes of the show, man. So this episode, I mean, it's a couple things that we want to touch on, man. But whether we're gonna start with the real estate, then get to some mindset stuff, and also just putting out that good energy and paying it forward. You know what I mean? So, big bro, you just closed on a spot like 2 nights ago, right? So I definitely want to hear about that. But also, folks always talk about what they've been doing and they've been in a game, and at this point it's almost like second nature. But a lot of people don't get to hear how it started, like how it all began. You know what I mean? So definitely, like, yo, let's talk about your first deal, and we can discuss some of the other real estate deals, and then and essentially like let us know how this one kind of came about.
All right, so I closed in like 2 days ago. Yeah, it's like you're right. But we found it I found it on the MLS, and my sister kept saying she wanted to get in, but she was kind of bluffing. So I forced her hand. I'm like, yo, bro, I got a house. We about to buy it. I'm not buying it by myself. This is what it's gonna cost us, man. Let's go. And you know, she was a little hesitant at first, but once we closed or closing day, she's like really excited, like, yo, like we got done signing papers about 8:30 or so. And she was like, all right, we got one down. And then, you know what I'm saying, I looked up, I'm like, yeah, 100 more to go, let's get it. So now like she's in. And I know how it be when you first start. It's like you get a little nervous and you wonder if you can really do it and if you're gonna have all the money to get it done. But once you get going, it's kind of snowball effect, because that's just how it worked with my first property. Like I bought it and the neighbor said it sat for like 6 years with like 2 holes in the roof, and it rained in there for like 2 years, to the point where he would go patch the roof in the summertime just so, because it's a semi-detached, so that his basement won't get flooded. And So I bought it. We had to gut it. Um, I bought that house, I think, for 65,000. Used hard money. My first deal, so of course, pause. But I was getting raped straight up, like 20% down, 14% interest, and like 3 or 4 points. But I mean, it's somewhat standard, but bruh, like it's high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Off that 65,000 closing cost plus my 20%, I came to the table with like $26,000, 26 and some change, I believe it was. And then we got in there, we got to work, and first thing I did was the roof because of course it's raining in there, so got to fix that first. First crew of guys were, I try to give like, I consciously went into it figuring that I'm going to spend the money regardless. So let me try to spend it within my community and try to keep the money in our community a little bit. But sad to say, the guys that I did hire, one of them was pretty skilled, the other one was okay. I'll bring a guy in here and there tonight to give him a hand. So it's like 3 dudes, plus I was there most of the time helping them out, but they would drink a lot. So I would show up and I'm paying you a piece rate or day rate. You know, like some people say piece rate, but anyway, I'm paying you by the day. And I'll show up and you drunk off beer and half the work ain't done. So, you know, the old me kind of come out, you know what I'm saying? And like kind of get them in line. And it was a little stressful, but it was worth every minute because all the mistakes I made in that project, I learned from the next project and kept going because I'm going in, one, I'm trying to get it done fast so I can get to the next one, but I'm not pulling the permits I'm supposed to pull. Bro, I don't even know I need to pull permits. You know what I'm saying? Because like I really came off of 2 months of binging Bigger Pocket podcasts, like every episode I could find just to learn. And then I went out there and tried. Like I just jumped off. And so like I didn't pull any building permits. I did some electrical work, but I didn't pull a permit for it. I mean, I don't know if I needed one. All the trash, I didn't, you know what I'm saying, like I didn't get a dumpster. Like I just piled everything up in the backyard. The neighbors started complaining, and the neighbors would complain, and then the city rode through and saw it, and they fined me. But then they put a stop work order, which is my first and only. I have no plans to get another stop work order. Yeah. So they put a stop work order on the property because I had no permits, and it's bro, it was a gang of trash out back. Like I gutted the entire house and just put it out back, and then that's another mistake because now I got to pay the guys twice. I got to pay him to take it out there and put it down. Then I got to pay him to put it in the dumpster and clean that mess up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like everything, so like he learned, like I was learning, every mistake I made, I learned from. So I got the guys in line for the most part. And I had the stop order lifted. Even before I had the stop order lifted. So, you know, being outside, you just go around things. Like you tell me I can't come in the front door, but I'm coming through the back. Like in China, what we talking about? Pause. Yeah. And, yeah, bro, that sounds crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so we got the stop work order while the guys were there working that day, and I was in DC at the office. So I leave the office and I go up there and I see the stop work order. I'm like, damn, I don't know what to do. So I bet I call the number tomorrow, but I know I need to get done in 3 months. So I'm like, yo, bro, put this cardboard over the window and keep working. And we just did that for like a week until they came out. Because if not, like I think they came out like 2 weeks later, something like that. But I would have lost 2 weeks. Yeah. So I ain't even gonna lie to nobody. Like I low key kept working. I know I shouldn't have, but I'm learning. Can't afford it. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get it done. I need to get to the next property. So the guy came out. We sorted everything out, and we kept working. And he wanted to. It's weird. So I didn't know that you needed a permit to put in a new air conditioning unit. I didn't put one in, but because the one that was there was never registered, they had me, I had to deal with that problem. So like we went through that process. So like that's why I said now, I pull all my permits. Like I literally just pulled my building permit for the project I'm working on now. All the subs, they pull their own permits. So, but and even in that process, like I learned how to be my own general contractor. So even if you don't want to work for anyone anymore, you don't necessarily have to swing a hammer. You just have to know how to manage a project. And that's what I started learning. My first and second projects is when I really started learning how to manage projects and kind of keep it on track. And I mean, it's a skill set. So you ain't got to go work for nobody. You can actually work for yourself. Just make sure you pay yourself, because most guys, I know I'm kind of off topic, but most guys, like most people start a business and they look at the business, the money the business bring in as their money. And technically it kind of is, but if you're not like literally cutting yourself a check and paying taxes, it's not really showing that you're employed. Then that affects you when you go to get a loan or you go to refinance or whatever you go to do. So just kind of remember to cut yourself a check, pay yourself. No matter what you're doing, just pay yourself.
Pay yourself first too.
Right, yeah. And even if you don't cash your check most of the time, just pay yourself, because I mean, it's on record, like pay your taxes and keep your stubs. You know what I'm saying? Like you file your tax at the end of the year and saying like you're on track. But yeah, like the hardest part in that process was keeping them guys on track and keeping them working. Like, and I didn't want to get rid of them because I intentionally wanted to try to help them. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew them. I knew one of them from like back in the day, Brown away and all of that. So I kind of wanted to keep working. I learned on my third project that, bro, like this ain't gonna work, because I used the same guys on the second project and I had to end up firing one of them. And then end up firing both of them. But the hardest part of that project was keeping it together. Understanding how the draws work, because most hard money companies are going to give you like 3 or 4 draws, and you have to start the project yourself. Once you get started and going, then you show that you've done a certain amount of work. Then they will come in, you know, I mean, then they will inspect, give you a draw. And I also have to learn to keep my street mentality out of business. Because I remember we demoed like 90% of the house. And every time you walked in, we still smelled mold. I couldn't figure out where it's coming from, not knowing that 2 closets that bumped up to each other didn't get demoed. So the inspector came through when I was like maybe 50%, like I was about 50% through the project. And he came through to make sure everything was on point before they give me my next draw. And I didn't have time to wait for him. So he came in, he did his recording, and the bank called me and was like, yo, we're not gonna give you a draw because you didn't do X, Y, Z. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? So they sent me the video. And of course, you see the guy walking around the house and he's giving his comments, but you just saw me like 2 days ago and you smiled in my face. And then now you're kicking my back in. So in my mind, I had made up that when I see him, I'm gonna slap him. But that's terrible business practice, you know what I'm saying? And it's a good thing I didn't run into him until I calmed down, because I thought that was wild disrespectful. But in business, none of that really matters. Like, he wasn't wrong. I wasn't where I needed to be to get paid. I had to understand that fact, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was all in at 26,000. By the time the project was done, I bought the place for 65. I put 40 in the rehab, so I was all in at 110. When I was done, the ARV was 175. So I did a cash out refinance for 127, and I made back the money I put in. I didn't make a profit, but I technically got a free house. Mortgage ended up being $800 a month. I put a tenant in there, paid him $1,600 a month over a 4-year period. I wasn't losing. And I just took that money and wrote it into the next project. And it just kind of became a snowball effect where I'm just knocking them down, or like, you know what I'm saying, just like one at a time. And like even now, what I've learned, I've learned this a long time ago, but I've actually put it into practice in real estate, where 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So I'm cool with partnering. Like, we closed on the house Wednesday. I partnered with my sister and my brother-in-law. I'm closing on another house Monday coming. Yeah. So in like 4 days, I'm closing on another property. For 3 days, I'm closing on another property, and I partnered with my other brother. But they like, this is the first time in this space, so I'm gonna help you walk through the process, and we own 50% of the deal. So I'm not like, my expense is like, it's easier to carry with more than one person, but then I'm still making money, you still making money, so it's a good deal. And I mean, I partner with anybody that want to partner, because we can get these deals done one way or another. I mean, I do it by myself, but if you want to partner, bro, I'm not going to tell you no. Like, let's grow, let's get it. Like, it's more than enough out here for everybody.
Facts, super facts, super facts. That's dope. So, damn, so you kind of gave us a breakdown of your first couple deals, and really how you know what I'm saying, and really tied into how you got this one. I also love how, I know you were saying it was off topic, but it's actually perfectly on topic, because you got to break down not only what was going on throughout the process, but also what your mindset was, and really kind of, you know what I'm saying, coming like really like where the street side met with the business side, and having the youngs to kind of overcome that, which is a major key. So I mean, and I feel like that's why folks are tapping into this conversation anyway too, because I feel like a lot of folks are going to try to mix, you know what I'm saying, street thinking with business thinking, and those things, it's like oil and water, they really don't mix, you know what I mean? So I think that was, yeah, that was definitely a major key, man. So, and I mean, even the part about having like 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing, because a lot of folks are always like, me, I want to own this, own that. But if whatever you're doing isn't really of value, and you ain't got nobody else to add value or even think about things or add perspectives to it, then you got 100% of nothing, and like, what's the point of that? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think that was a major game.
Bro, I seen too many people do that. Like, man, I ain't working with him because, bro, then you ain't gonna get no work done. It's just really that simple. So you rather get no work done than share whatever you got going on.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem half the time. So that's why, like, I consciously make sure I do as much as I can to help who I can. Like, I've learned that it don't cost me nothing to pour into people and expecting nothing in return. But the crazy thing is, God in the universe is gonna always come back in a positive way every single time. So just pour into people and don't expect nothing back in return. Like, I'm gonna tell you about that in a little bit, but even with like the street aspect of it, like, we come from where, as a man, you say something, you stand on that. You know what I mean? We ain't writing no contracts. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and that's that. And if it's not done, depending on what the situation is, then it could lead to something else. So we stand on what we say. That's not business, bro. Like, you sign a contract, you stick to that contract. So whatever you negotiate is what you're gonna get. And these people ain't your friend, and they don't owe you any form of respect. Well, they will respect you, but if someone disrespect you, you gotta understand that, bro, they civilians. They don't understand. They don't come from the places we've come from, where you're dying over disrespect. You dying over somebody stepping on your shoe. You dying over somebody saying something stupid to you. Like, people lose their life for those little petty things, which we as a people need to get past. But that's just the reality of what it is. But you can't take that mentality in the business. Like, you can't walk around slapping everybody. You can't. It just doesn't work. And I've learned that. And I try to tell Jesus that, even like when we're talking to the lawyer, I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta understand, he's a civilian. So for him, this is just normal, because it's okay for someone to do you something and you call the police on them and tell them, hey, that guy did me that, because like, they didn't live by that code. So it's okay for him to tell you, hey, it's okay to tell. Like, if you know somebody, tell on them, because they don't think, like, for them it's not wrong, because they, like, that's not where they come from. But my time on earth has taught me that, yo, bro, it's two different worlds. And like, you can take, like, what they gave us was hustling. Hustling is business, period. Like, it's a numbers game. Real estate, it's all numbers. So you can take that aspect of it into your transition, trucking, like, whatever it is, like, it's all numbers. Like, if the numbers add up, if this is going 600 miles and it's going to cost you $450 in fuel, and they're paying you $4,000, the math works. So do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same, like, that aspect of it is the same business, but the disrespect and not tolerating certain things, and I'm not saying you're supposed to go into business and be soft, but you have to be smart. It's a difference. Because if I had slapped that guy, right, he's not from outside. And so the first thing I'm gonna do is call the police. And I'm gonna catch a charge. And I can't go tell them, oh, but it's a principal. I don't care about your principal.
They ain't hearing that. Yeah.
Bro, hold this misdemeanor, man. You're like, what we talking about?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we have to think about it.
I mean, I think it was something that you told me a while back too. It was like, yo, dog, like the streets ain't for everybody. That's why they make sidewalks. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a very real thing. And I feel like most people are on the sidewalk and they don't know nothing about the street. So it's like, you just got to move accordingly and be smart and be strategic with how you moving. You know what I mean? So, but also too, I think that there's a lot of benefit in that too, because in the street, there's a lot of principle, but I think there's also too much emotion as well. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like business helps you just be a bit more composed and just you gotta smooth in different ways. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And it kind of helps you become a shrewd businessman. But I want to shout out Money and Violence because that's where I got that from. Watching Money and Violence, the whole street thing for everybody. It's a dope line, but it's so true. Yeah. And like even now in my life, bro, I be strolling down the sidewalk with my kids, man. Like what we talking about? Like, what am I doing in the streets? I might get ran over. I'm not trying to get ran over. Stay my ass on the sidewalk, right where I belong.
And I'm glad that you brought up Money and Violence and said that, because damn, they should still be making great content. I don't know what happened.
Oh, man. You're bugging. They're definitely still making great content.
Are they back with it? I thought it was done.
Nah, they don't do Money and Violence no more. They have a new thing called Black that's out. I haven't seen it since I've been home. Before I went in, they had this show called The Spot, which basically the whole premise is just based on this one dude's condo in Brooklyn. And he took a big L from hustling. And you know what I'm saying? Like the way he's trying to bounce back and this girl telling him, yo, bro, just leave that alone and do something different. Like it's pretty dope. And that same guy that wrote and produced all of those, he writes on Godfather Harlem.
Oh, really?
Yep. And another one, he writes on another show as well. So he's really making some moves out here. Like from the streets, doing what he do. And like from watching it, if you're a dude that's really been outside, if you watch that, you know he ain't bluffing. Like none of it. You know it. Like a lot of dudes don't know, this really doesn't matter, but a lot of dudes don't really know how many grams is in a kilo. A lot of dudes don't know. Yeah. But if you watch it, you hear him, like he'll tell you. So like a lot of dudes ain't never really seen a kid. They say they hustle, but I mean that's neither here nor there. We should, none of us should. But I'm just saying, like, you can tell he comes from a real place and he really got some talent. So anything you're doing, I'm supporting, bro. Straight up. Yeah,
that's dope. First of all, I really got to tap in because I've been hearing great things about Godfather of Harlem. I've been hearing great things about BMF. I still haven't gotten to catch none of them yet. So I need to sit down for a weekend after I finish some projects and tap in with those, man, for sure.
Bro, you need to get your life.
I know, bro. I know, man. But yo, we gonna get to that, man. So, but you were kind of talking about it, man. Just really, pouring into people and kind of paying it forward. Which I mean, I feel like I'm a living testament of that. You've definitely poured a lot into me, and I feel like I'm super appreciative, and I definitely, I'm saying, try to play my part to return the favor whenever I can as well, man. But like, what is your philosophy in regard to that pouring into people? And especially without expectations, like how did you get to that point, and what is that like for you?
Funny enough, I've always been that way. And I get it from my mother. I believe I get it from my mom. And the reason I say that is, I remember when I was young. My mom and my sisters, they're always doing and giving and just, you know what I'm saying, just always. So I couldn't miss it. But like I remember when we were younger, to keep us out of the streets, my mom used to take us to church all the time. Like, bruh, you know the vibe. Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday nights. But like on Saturdays, they had this thing called the benevolent program where they would bag up food for the neighborhood and just give it away. Like people would line up and we'd be back there bagging up potatoes and donuts and bread and all of that, vegetables, and you know what I'm saying, just it was kind of like a conveyor belt type thing. And saying we bagging them up, giving to them clothes, like whatever they needed. And then Sunday nights, after church, she would take us down on 14th Street way back in the day. And we would give out blankets to the homeless people until like almost midnight. I'm like, yo, bro, I got school in the morning, so you bugging. But I think a lot of that helped. But and then, bro, that just became who I was. Like anybody will tell you, bro, if I come across a plug, I'm like, yo, bro, hey man, this what it's hitting for. And this one I'm going. Get it together, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never wanted to be the man and everybody underneath me, bro. Let's all rise together. And I just carry that through life. And it's funny because like even now in business, it benefits you so much to just be that person. And I don't know, I think it's a lot of God, but like, example, I went to, okay, so we got this auction in Baltimore where you can get appliances, like anything, windows, doors, anything you need, like building material, and saying for less than what it'd be at Home Depot or Lowe's, or damn near almost anywhere, like brand new stuff. So I went to go get some doors, some back doors for the project I'm working on, and I ran into this lady in there, and I seen her like moving this big window, and I'm literally in a rush. I ain't even gonna bluff. I'm in a rush trying to go get this door because I need to drop it off and go pick my son up from school. And had like probably 30 something minutes. But I'm not gonna walk past you seeing you need help. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, and like, you need help? And she's like, yeah. And she was like, do you think this window will fit? I'm like, yeah, that little break in the wood ain't stopping nothing. I mean, worst case scenario, you got to insulate it, you know what I'm saying? But it should be straight. And she was asking about the size. I'm like, they kind of look the same, but I really can't eyeball it. And so I asked her, I'm like, yo, what do you do? Are you flipping or you holding? And she was like, she's been flipping for about 20 years. I was like, oh, that's dope. So I'm telling her about the projects I got coming up, the ones I'm working on and whatever. She's like, yo, how you funding that? And she's like, out your pocket? I'm like, nah, I'm using hard money. And she kind of made her face up. I'm like, what you know about hard money? And she's like, yeah, I just don't use it. I was like, okay, so then what you doing? Because all right, bro, give me game, you know what I mean? And just that 2 seconds of me. So, and then she's telling me she need windows. And I'm like, yo, I got a good window guy. I just ordered windows. And I mean, he's custom making them because like, I don't know why, bro, but all these windows in his house is like big as I don't know what. Like you can't go to the store and buy them, you gotta make them. And I was like, yo, it didn't cost as much as I thought it would. So he might be able to help. And she's working on flipping DC. So she was like, yeah, I get my loans from the bank and they give me 5%. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, on a $500,000 loan, I'm paying under $2,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, oh, word. Because on my $315,000, I'm paying them $2,600 a month. So yeah, I take that all day. So we got on the phone yesterday, and she's like, literally, she was like, her mentor taught her the game, and she just helped him close 8 buildings, 11 units a building. I'm like, that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, that's 88
the goal. Units.
That's what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? So, right. And she was like, yeah, he has a relationship to the bank. He taught me the game and then introduced me. Voila. So just on that conversation that day, she's telling me how to really get the right credit cards for the business. And instead of always going in my pocket, just use the credit cards because you can carry you can carry a high limit on them for a longer period of time and it won't affect your personal. Like she's just breaking all that down. Some of it I knew, some I didn't. So I'm on the phone with her yesterday and she's legit walking me through the process of how to set up a company properly to look amazing for the banks. I'm talking about like detailed stuff where she's like, yo, you don't want more than like 14 characters and you don't want this in the name. And like some of that's like I always knew that when you set up a company, especially real estate, don't ever put real estate in the name. The banks ain't gonna lend you money. You know what I'm saying? Like you look wild risky. But like she's telling me all that, but then she's like breaking it down, how many characters I need to have and the reasons why I need that.
Like for like how many characters, like as far as like letters in the name of the business?
Or letters in the name. Like, I mean, she was, and just off a simple, I see you need help and I stopped to help you.
Yeah.
even if I'm in a rush, I see you need help. So how can I just walk past you and I stop and help? And now she's helping me to set up to where I can graduate from where I'm at to growing the business even further. Because if I don't have to carry that big of an expense every month, I can do bigger deals. I can do more deals. I can start transitioning into these small multifamilies and things of that nature. Like she's telling me how many inquiries you need to have in your credit. She's like, yo, you don't want to have more than 3 inquiries in your credit for the year. And you don't want to carry more than a 50% balance on any of your credit cards. Like she's like legit breaking it down to me how to look real good for these big banks to get these big loans with low interest. And that's just off a simple conversation of just trying to help someone else.
Trying to help somebody.
Right, you can't just like helping people, not because it's coming back, because that's just the right thing to do.
It's a good thing to do.
Right.
So
and I mean, that's how we grow the people.
That is dope. That's a blessing. Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna get her on here too. Like I talked to her about like the way she was giving me game. I'm like, yo, people need to hear this. Like, because I've never heard this. You know what I mean? All the podcasts I've been watching, everything I've been hearing going on. And like she grew up in the city, like the rest of us, but she went to Howard and she'd been flipping on and off for 20 years, but she had a mentor that really gave her the game and that really set her up. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. I was like, yo, bro, I really need to get you on here. Like, whenever you get a chance, she's like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, I mean, it's dope. I mean, even to your point about pouring into people, her mentor poured into her and she was able to help him just lock in 88 units. You know what I mean? Like, that's huge. That's dope. That's fire right there, man. So, and these are Black people that we're talking about. So it's like, And like, I mean, like that to me is, I mean, it's fire, man, because like a lot of folks don't know or feel like our community isn't capable of doing these things, or they're not possible, or they out of reach. And they are, it is possible. If they are in the community, they are out here doing it, and they might not be on the gram or on Twitter or on Facebook or on Clubhouse, but they out here. And I think like that's something folks got to realize, man. Like, yo, like people are doing great things out here. And even to the original point, man, like, yo, just do good things, be a good person, help people out. And that's how you get tapped into other great things. Cause yeah, man.
And bro, that's kind of what it was. Cause like I saw her earlier kind of looking around, not really fumbling, but like you can tell that she wasn't sure of where things were. And I've been going to this spot now for like 11 years. So I come in, boom, I go sign in, I get my boom, and I'm gone again. You know what I'm saying? She's in there trying to figure out where to sign in. But I was paying attention, but I really wasn't paying attention that much. So then when I seen her again, I'm like, yo, I missed the opportunity before to give her a hand. So let me help her out now. And then she started asking about the auction. I'm like, okay, I see. It is your first time coming here. So I'm telling her all the things she can get, all the crazy deals I've gotten over the time at that place. Cause like I've literally bought 30, it was a 3700 Genair French door refrigerator. I bought it there one time. But I've gotten refrigerators for deals all the time, but this one, it's a $3,700 refrigerator, brand spanking new. I got it for $250. What? It wasn't cooling.
Yeah.
They was like, yo, we don't know why it's not cooling. It's not cooling. And then they start auctioning it off, and ain't nobody want to bid on it. I spend that money every time because if I lose it, okay, so what? It's $250. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I hit, I'm going to hit big. So I got it for $250. I took it back to my, and matter of fact, I put that in the first rental property too. Nice. I took it back to the rental property. I covered it up in plastic because they were still, you know what I'm saying, like doing construction. And I put it in there. And, I called Genair. They sent a tech out. He ordered a part. With under a week, it was working like brand spanking new. It was still on the factory warranty and everything. Nice. And I just left it in there. And I ended up renting that house to a really dope family. A really dope family, a guy, his wife, and they had 3 young boys at the time. And
was the folks at the trampoline?
Yes, them. And a couple months after he moved in, he found out his wife was pregnant again, and they had another boy. So I got 4 Christmas gifts I need to buy for 4 little boys. And that's another key too.
Take care of your tenants, man.
take care of your tenants. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're paying for your property. Like they're literally paying off your house and kicking you back extra money that you ain't got to work for. So just take care of them, especially if they take whether or not they're taking care of your place, which they should be, but take care of your tenants. And I remember when they first walked through that place, bro. Like once they moved in right before we were finished working, like we wasn't even done working yet. Like, bro, we legit wasn't done working yet. And he signed the lease. And that taught me, because in my head, I'm like, yo, it's got to be a way around this little system, because once you're done doing the work on a house, you have to put a tenant in there before you can do your cash out refinance. But I didn't know at the time that you have to have a tenant, like a signed agreement for the hard money to pay you the little bit of money they had left for you. I'm saying, like whatever they had left on, you know, like on your final draw, they give that to you once you have a signed lease. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I figured that out because he signed the lease before the work was even done.
Yeah.
So I'm like, me being me, thinking, man, I'm like, okay, I got to sign a lease. The house looks done. Like if you come in, you'll see like little punch outs you got to do, but don't nobody really know that. Yeah. So let me shoot my shot. And I hit my hard money guys. I'm like, yo, I got to sign a lease. I sent them a copy of the contract and told them the tenants moving in. I'm saying I had a moving date and everything, security deposit, all of that. And but the day he came and signed the lease, he brought his 3 young boys, and they were like, "Hey, Dad, is this our house?" And he's like, "Yeah." They're like, "Yo, no way." He's like, "Yeah." So like, go pick a room, and like they were crazy excited. I'm like, "Yo, I'm doing the right thing." You know what I'm saying? Because like what I was doing before didn't really affect me because I wasn't out. I wasn't in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't in the mud with them. So whatever, bro. I'm just conducting business.
Yeah.
It never affected me either way. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, but that first property where I'm like, yo, I'm doing the right thing. Like I really am, because I mean, I put shaker cabinets in there with the soft closed doors. I did granite countertops. Like I did it all because I want to give my tenants the best product possible. And a couple reasons. That, and I also want to give them something awesome so they take care of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it's better than where he's coming from. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm just saying, like, I try to do, like, I would live there. I would live there. And even though it cost me a little more, on the appraisal, you get that money back. Yep. Like, it's going to appraise higher than the house down the street because they don't have French doors and they don't have all stainless steel appliances and they don't have shaker cabinets with soft closed doors. They don't have quartz or granite. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just don't. Yeah. And I know the place is going to appraise more. Like all my bathrooms, I tiled the entire bathroom, shower walls, everything. Like people will do a little shortcut and put a little the little bath fitter shower thing in there. Yeah. And yes, yeah, it's less expensive and you get out of the bathroom faster. But when the appraiser comes through, the appraiser's going to be worth more. Yeah, exactly. Like it's going to be worth more. And like before I appraised that house, I think houses over there was only appraising for like 165, close to 170, and we got 175 because we put the extra work in, and it didn't cost us much to put the extra money in. So every dollar we put in, we got that back, no problem.
Plus some, yeah.
Plus some, and then you give it to a nice family, and they're happy, bro. Like, cool, they're gonna take care of your place. You keep it moving. You ain't got to sweat them.
Yeah, and that, like, I was kind of talking about that too, man. So in the spaces, as far as just helping, like as far as like how you fix them at the place, and also just finding the right tenants to get up in the spot, because you want tenants who are gonna appreciate your spot and take care of it, but they only do that when they see the work and the time that you put into making a nice space for them. You know what I mean? So yeah,
right. You do you know what I'm saying? Like you do the due diligence, and they're gonna take care of your place because they know that you spent money on this. So you ain't spend money for them to go destroy it, and you know what I'm saying? They're gonna take care of it.
Facts, right? Man.
If it's buts and maybes, they're definitely gonna take care of it.
Super facts, man. Super facts. So all right, so we covered your first deal onto the deal that you just did now with Sis. We kind of got to hear about you being benevolent and pouring into people, and also seeing how when you pay it forward, you sometimes you get it back weeks, months, years down the line. Sometimes you get it back immediately, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? But then I think that all of that this is actually a perfect segue. All of that goes into the last point of what we want to talk about is the mindset and just how you even get into doing what you're doing, man. So like what is the mindset part that I mean, we discuss it all the time. Me and you got similar mindsets, but for those who just tapping in and kind of don't know, and damn, I need to get me a coconut water. That's off topic though.
Oh, refreshing.
Already know, man. But yeah, man. So what is the mindset that really helped you? You know what I'm saying, to kind of just lock in on what you're doing now, what kind of what we doing now,
Bruh. I ain't even trying to sound cocky, but I know.
I always been that nigga, man. You know.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Like I know I'm ill, son. Like ain't no way around it, cause. Yeah. Bro, ain't no way around it, son. Like, I just know who I am, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just confident in that fact. I don't try to flaunt, like I do, like you know what I'm saying, I pop my ish around my folks just to be funny, but like I just know who I am, son. Because
side note, sorry to cut you, bro. I'm gonna tell you how wild this is, dog. A lot of people don't even know this story, but one, I mean, you know, we've been brothers forever. But we got separated, for, you know what I'm saying, for a while because I mean we didn't have no contact information and none of that type of stuff like that. But I remember when I was like, yo, I miss my big brothers. Let me see if I can find these dudes. Somehow, somewhere I gotta find them, right? I get on MySpace and I'm typing in Gregory Grant, Gary Grant, trying to find both of y'all and see where y'all are at. And I must have messaged, I don't know, 5-10 people. But I remember going to y'all profile, you and Jeezy profile, and being like, yo, these dudes look cool. Now I'm cool, but they cool like I'm cool. And
that's a fact, bro.
I was like,
yo, my little brother kind of fly. I ain't gonna lie. So I can show off the short. I'm like, yo, I can't wait till he come visit. I think at the time, you was in Cali at the time.
Yeah. I think when I found you, I was still in Florida, but I was about to move to Cali.
You're right. Yeah. Exactly right. But to answer your question, bro, I just know who I was in the sense of, I'm not saying I don't have doubts at times, but I think back a lot of this stuff I can't speak on. But I think back of the things I was able to think through and put together. Come on, son. If I can do that, ain't nothing I can't do. And with the mindset, don't let nobody kill. Don't let nobody try to kill your dreams. Half the time, don't even share it. Just do you. And when it happened, they'd be like, "Oh, all right, he popping," or "Oh, he knew what he was doing." Because a lot of people gonna tell you, "Oh, bro, you can't do it. Or you can't this." Example, I had dinner with some homies. They're dudes I know. I wouldn't necessarily call them homies. I mean, they were homies, but whatever.
Yeah.
A couple nights ago, for my son's 16th birthday, right? And you know, I'm just getting back, and both well, one did fair time, another one did state time, right? But like here, no, actually, one was outside, but I mean, fair time, but like one did state time here, right? So we having that conversation about our lockers, you know what I'm saying? Not wanting to go to chow, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna eat out our locker and fake stunting in prison, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a thing where you can fake stunt there because you can actually be prison rich. Because a lot of dudes are really prison poor, you know what I'm saying? So like, if you always got it, like, and even in there, right? Me, my boy Dez, my boy JC, and my boy David. David's older than us, right? We would we all ended up in a dorm together at one point. So we would like take turns, and like we'll see dudes that ain't got nothing, like the people that send them nothing. So we'll like go to the canteen. Let's go, bro. Just make a list and give it to me. I got you. You know what I mean? So like we'll just take turns just buying guys stuff. Just because it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know you. I'm probably never gonna see you again. Like half these dudes got a whole elbow. They're not going nowhere. But if you can afford to do it, bro, they ain't gonna kill you to do it. So why not do it? So but I mean, so like I said, bro, that's just kind of how we always been. But so we talking about that whole process, and I'm telling them, they was like, yeah, so I'm like, but so I'm explaining to them, saying, yeah, I get up at 4:30, eat at 5, be at the back to go out to work by like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And he's like, yeah, but how much they paying you? I'm like, bro, you ain't getting paid. He's like, nah, they're not paying you like X amount of cents or like whatever it was. I'm like, nah, nigga. Not bad. I'm like, nah, bro, you're not getting paid, son. Like, what you talking about? I'm like, it's straight up slave labor.
Yeah.
So we having this conversation. There's like, nah, you tripping. So if you don't go to work, I'm like, if you don't go to work, you go to the box. I need to work this blue phone. I got business to handle. I'm not trying to go to the box. So if I go sit out in the sun for a couple of hours, all right, and I come back. Okay, cool. So we talk, you know what I'm saying? We talk about all of that. Then so I'm telling them like, yo, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm good on all of that. Cause like dudes still living how they living. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, nah, bro, I'm good on all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't living like that no more. Like, it just ain't for me. And he was like, then one dude was like, yeah, I'll give you 6 months and see what you're saying. And one, off top, I'm like, bro, that's some sucker-ish.
Yeah.
Some hateful-ish, but then I realized it may not be. It's just a mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean,
and like they sit across the table from me.
And I mean, most of the time, I mean, it is like some not really hateful, but just some like semi-ignorant, but also not ignorant, because statistically, most cats get out of the situation and they end up right back in it. But that's because 99% of folks didn't really have other business and stuff like you had. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
You know, my social worker, I actually need to reach out to her. She was like, man, I want you to keep in touch. Because everybody be like, yo, she was wild, nasty. I'm like, she was all right straight with me because I dealt with respect. And she was like, she was doing, like, she was processing me out probably like 2-3 weeks before. And she's like, she refused to let guys go home with no address. Because if they have no address, they're going to the homeless shelter. And if they go to a homeless shelter, within 6 weeks, they're back in again, back in the system. So she don't want that. So she don't let them go unless they have an address. And she'd be on your head to get an address. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying. Actually, never, I think I thought about it, but just not really, because it didn't really apply to me. So anywho, I look homeboy in the face. I'm like, yo, bro, I hear what you're saying, son. But if I stopped cold turkey in 18, bro, 6 months came and gone how many times? When I said I'm done, bro, I'm done. I hear you. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, then it was like, I mean, I guess you can do it if you change your lifestyle and live below your means. I'm like, bruh, I'm ill. Yeah. I'm going to win in whatever I do because I'm determined to win. Yeah. And I don't just guess at it. I take the time to learn what I'm doing, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it right. So I'm like, yo, bro. And they just didn't understand it. I'm like, yo, bro. I went from, because like, I get to that. But like, I'm like, yo, bro, I went from bricks to brick buildings. You make the same money. It may not come as fast at times, but I'm telling you, I make the same bread. Yeah. So I hear you. Like, while I was in, they had like a Rolex Christmas, I believe it was. So like they was buying all their girl or their whoever, they was just buying Rollies and all of that. That's cool. I'm not knocking you. I can do that too if I wanted to. For me, it don't make no sense. Not now. I mean, you got to right when it's investment, but right now, bro, ain't nobody around me tripping off none of that. Like, you got that. If you want it, we got it. But who cares? Like, if the price go up, I sell it tomorrow. Like, what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? But like, they just couldn't understand. I'm like, yo, bro, you make the same money. Yeah. Like and like, I was like that where like some people get addicted. Like Jay said it too. Like some people get addicted to making the bread. So I look at it as just that, like, they're addicted to making the bread because ain't none of them broke. Like, I ain't gonna bluff you and tell you they broke. They're not. Yeah. But they just don't see it, and they don't have the mindset to say, "Oh, I can do something else." Yeah. Like one of them got a couple other things going on, and actually both of them got a couple other things going on, but their main focus is still that. Bro, my focus ain't on that no more at all. Yeah. It sounds good, but it don't mean nothing to me, son. Like it don't. Yeah. It really don't. Like, and I left, and like I'm laying there tonight, like it didn't bug me. I just was dumbfounded at the fact that how you not get it. And I'm like, we all like, as men, we're pretty logical. You know what I mean? 1 + 1 is 2, ain't no way around it. Mm-hmm. Not like, we're not really like through our thought process of business, we're not really that emotional, at least most of us ain't, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, how do you not see it? Like, I can show you how to make 100 million in the streets. Mm-hmm. But what comes with that? A whole lot of BS. And probably some bodies gonna come with that too. Like, ain't none of it making sense to me. And the time it's gonna take you to do that, like, I did what I did for a while. So I've lost a lot and I've made a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I can see where I can make that make sense over a very long period of time. But I can show you like 3 or 4 years, 100 million in real estate. It ain't impossible. Yep. Like legit, 100 million. You ain't gotta wash your money. You ain't gotta hide it from nobody. And you can go buy what you want. Like we was even talking about, and then I laughed at him. I'm like, so before I left, the dude that say, well, anyway, like one of them had a new range. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they can legit buy whatever they want. They just don't. You know what I mean? Because like we came up off, bro, you don't want to show you got bread for real, because then everybody gonna know what the hell this coming from, or then people gonna ask questions to see you driving. So anyway, I'm like, yo, how y'all feel about that new range? One of them's like, yeah, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like all the features and this, that, and third, but I ain't gonna buy it. Mm-hmm. And then no, he didn't say that. He's like, I'm saying he liked the features. The other one was like, I ain't buying it. And he had the last one. He was like, man, it just looked funny pulling up on job sites and this, that, and the third, and then people seeing you, and you know what I'm saying, you just riding around. And I'm like, I hear you and I feel you. When I live like that, I don't want nobody asking me nothing. Yep. Not nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want answers for you, bro. So I don't want you to ask me nothing. But now the way I live, I can buy all of it. I can buy whatever. Mm-hmm. Like legit whatever. Mm-hmm. Because I can justify it. I can show where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. But living like that, I couldn't. Like, I mean, I legit one year almost, it's like mid 2000s when the Bentley Flying Spur came out. Mm-hmm. I was gonna get one. Like I was retarded, but I was gonna get one. Like in my mind, I'm buying it. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna buy it. And I think Jab talked me out of it. He was like, bro, that don't make no sense. Mm-hmm. And what he said was absolutely right. But now I don't have to second guess. If I want it and I can afford it, I can buy it because, okay, I'm really doing things that are right. Mm-hmm. And I'm really being successful at what I'm doing. So what's gonna stop me from doing it? Other than me, like only reason I'm not gonna buy it is if I don't want it or I can't afford it. And if I keep pushing, it's not gonna stop me from affording it. So, facts. It's just a mind. But like, hopefully, with these conversations, we can help change people's mindsets and show them that, bro, it's really possible. Like I'm really doing it. Like I'm not telling you because it sounds good. I'm telling you because I'm doing it. Like legit. Yeah. And every time we close, we're gonna talk about it. Like we're gonna show you that it's possible. Not bragging, but bro, I break down the deals. I tell you what it cost me and what it cost my partner, or if I did it by myself, however it is. Even if I have 2 or 3 partners, I still got it done. But I'm just saying, like, you can do it. Like, even if you don't have the capital to do it, then it's your job to go get the information. Get all the information. So therefore, your partner with the capital don't have to do anything if they don't want to, because now we're on equal footing. Because I'm bringing all the information. Again. Yeah, you bring knowledge again, you bring the capital. Right, and you bring the capital to get it done. Or you bring the knowledge and the connections and get it done. Or you know how to manage a project and get it done. But like, dudes saying they can't get in, like, the dude I met, I'm like, yo, bro, there's so many ways to get in the game. Like, anytime you want, bro, like, I'm out here on the job site, pull up on me. I have conversations with you all day, but it's a million ways to get in the game if you really want to get in. And if you're dead serious, and this is what I love about him, bro ain't playing. Like he really be taking it serious. Like the information you know what I'm saying, like you sent him, but he's studying, he's into it. And this deal I bought on Wednesday, when I looked at the HUD, it was from a wholesaler.
See,
so the wholesaler got the wholesaler got the house on the contract for $63,000. I bought it for $95,000. The wholesaler made $22,000. And so my agent was like, man, we gotta stay away from these auction properties because I mean you paid $22,000 over. Yeah. Nah. He hustled and made that happen. I'm not watching his pockets. I still got a good deal. If I got it at 63, bro, I'd have got an amazing deal. Yeah. I still got a good deal. So I'm not knocking him for making his money. Like for me, it's, you know what I'm saying, it's a numbers game, and the numbers still made sense.
Still made sense.
Yeah. I'd have had 22,000 extra in my pocket, but the number still made sense. So I can't be mad at him. He's doing his job, I'm doing mine. Just like I couldn't be mad at the police to lock me up. You're doing your job. I was doing mine.
It's funny. It's funny you say that too, because I did a consultation with a guy yesterday. We were talking about different sales and stuff like that. And I was on this Twitter space and I was discussing vertical integration, right? But I was discussing vertical integration from the point of when I was in music. So we were I had a recording studio in the crib, recording my own stuff, engineering my own stuff. I was putting my own shows together. We had our own merch. So like we owned each part of the process, you know what I mean? So he was asking me on the consultation call, he was like, yo, so you mentioned vertical integration in music, but how are you doing it? Or how would you do it in real estate? And I was like, well, yo, how we're planning to kind of do it is like, yo, well, one, we're going to build our own wholesale operation so that we can have access to the deals first, right? Then we will have the option of if we want to buy and hold it, or if we want to flip it, or we can offload those to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? So we own the initial part of the process. Then we actually are, going to rehab it, have our own rehab team, do the whole thing, or contract to the general contractor. So that's our whole thing. So own that part of the process. Then find the tenants ourselves. We ain't even got to find a property manager for that. Or find a tenant ourselves, get a tenant in there, then own it, rehab it. I mean, refinance it, then go on to the next part of the deal. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, like that's also, I mean, so to your point, like, yo, you can't even knock the wholesaler because they're doing their job, and that's where we are in the business right now. You know what I mean? So that's good.
And like right now, I'm building out a construction team. Like I legit got a good crew, and just gotta keep them working. And dude's excited right now because I'm like, yo, bro, I got 3 coming just on my end. I just had my homegirl buy a house. You doing hers as well. And yeah, as soon as one of these is done, we still got to put up that 8 unit right next door. And I'm still buying more deals. Like, so I'm building out that aspect of it and learning more about construction management. So, I mean, back to that conversation, I was like, yeah, I was looking for a dump trailer to buy so that on the smaller projects, we don't have to get a dumpster. Yeah, I can, you know what I'm saying, we can just fill that up and go dump it ourselves. And you know what I'm saying, one of the dudes was like, you can't have it all, or you can't win it all, or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good, but you really can. Like if you're really serious, like if you dead serious about what you're doing, and you're trying to scale your business and really make money, bro, what's stopping you from doing it?
Exactly.
Like really, what's stopping you? Nothing is stopping me from driving to the dump, bro. I'm not loading it. My guy's loading it. All I gotta do is dump it.
Yeah.
But that can save me between 25 and 50,000 for the year. Why am I pissing that away in the wind? That don't make no sense.
Exactly. Yeah, you should have told me. You
can.
Bro. I can.
you see, but the Bible once said, the Bible says it's easier to take a mama, to take a baby bear, a cub from a mama bear, than it is to argue the fool. And I'm not saying the dudes I was talking to were foolish. I'm just saying, if you're not listening, why am I talking?
Yeah.
So I hear you. Watch me work.
Yeah.
I can show you better than I can tell you. So like, what are we talking about?
Yep. That's what it's about, man. So, damn. So I think we're probably about an hour now, and we hit on all points. That was major game. So you heard everything, man. You heard how the first deal went, the mistakes that were made, also a lot of the wins that came out of that and the lessons that were learned out of that, and also how now we got big shout out to Big Sis Peaches in the game making it happen. You know what I mean?
Oh, and on that first deal, right? Peep game. Bought that house November 2018, right? I put a tenant in there by March. So from March up until now, the tenant's been paying my mortgage. You know what I mean? And like I said, mortgage is 8, rent is
16, right?
16. Boom. Now with all the value of properties going up and the house being in my, so when I started, I was putting everything in my personal name because I'm just trying to run it up. Yeah. Like everybody got time to set up a business and wait for that to come through. I'm trying to get to it now, not like now, right now. So now that I'm back into the, you know what I'm saying, like doing what I'm doing, I'm transitioning like all the properties that I have in my name out of my name because my debt, like one, my debt load look crazy with all them properties, but two, if anything ever go wrong, I'm protecting myself and my personal assets, right? Now the fact that I bought it in 18, bro, and from 18 to now, that property has increased in value. It's like 60 something, almost 70,000 in like a short period of time. So with me transitioning out of my name, I can either do a cash out refi or a HELOC. Instead of bringing my mortgage up, I keep it right where it's at. So I did a refi.
For those of y'all who don't know what a HELOC is, that's a home equity line of credit. Look it up. We'll probably break it down if you want, but yeah.
Yeah, right. So I'm doing a HELOC where I have that money sitting. I'm pulling out like 30, right, exact number, $34,200 and 12 cents. I'm gonna get in the HELOC, and I'm just had that money sitting. So if I needed to go bust a play, it's there.
Hold on. I mean? So are you telling me that you about to pull out 30 something and you're not about to go buy a couple rollies? Is that what you're saying right now?
Fact. Like I'm legit about to either put some money on that and go buy a truck or just let it sit until I have a couple more plays coming in. And then I'm waiting to see what the market's going to do this summer. Like I don't want to sound like a vulture, but I think a lot of these foreclosures are going to hit the market. So I'm kind of building up my war chest.
The game is the game.
Them up. Like we seen this whole thing play out in 2008, but we weren't smart enough, or no, we just didn't have the information to make things happen. So now I'm just waiting. So I'm just kind of stacking up, and then on top of that, right? I paid down the principal on the mortgage. So my new mortgage is actually less. It's like like 675. I'm still getting, but like my rent's still the same. I'm still getting 1,600. Yeah. And then I have this extra 30 something thousand just sitting in the cut, waiting for me to do what I need to do with it.
Yeah. So that's just so y'all know, right? One, he's got the equity, which has been going up, making money that way, right? Also, it was cash flowing $800 a month. Now it's cash flowing essentially a stack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so basically almost a stack.
Yeah. So it's cash flowing a stack, and you got like 30 something thousand in equity because the property went up 60-70%. So it's like, yo, these are the ways to generate money and build wealth in real estate, man. And like that's what's possible.
And it didn't cost me $1. Like I haven't paid that mortgage not one time, not once. Never paid that mortgage. My tenant's been paying it down for me, and he's an awesome guy. And I'm gonna definitely buy his kids awesome Christmas gifts because he's a dope dude and his kids are awesome. And that house, when my daughter Logan is 18 and she graduate, I put on a 15-year mortgage. It'd be paid off, and it would have actually I have all the equity in there, but the house would be worth more than it was today. So that's just cash for her to play with. And like we'll get into this in another episode, but I kind of by like 2023, I want to at least buy one house a year for each of them. for the next 10 or 13 years. So when they're quote unquote adults at 18 and going to college or whatever, they would have at least 14 rental properties apiece, just cash flowing. So,
yep. And then on top of that too, that's a major win, because when you buy properties for them for their birthdays, they could, of course, I already know, like, they can get whatever they ever need from you, but at the same time, those properties can fund their lifestyles, and then also fund their lifestyles as they grow now. But then when they actually do become, when they turn 18, they'll have an actual portfolio of their own to snowball and do even bigger things. You know what I mean? So like, that's another reason why we got this podcast, man. I mean, generational wealth, changing the game. And that's why I love what we're doing. Because one, not only are we, you know what I'm saying, building generational wealth, I think in a lot of ways, like, for y'all who are listening, and for those who want to get in the game, what it's about is not only building generational wealth, but breaking generational curses, man. Whatever you thought you couldn't do, you know what I'm saying, for yourself, not only can you do it for yourself, you can do it for your kids and your kids, and really change the whole trajectory of your family, man. Like, that's what this is about. The game is the game. It's out here for you. And like you said, it wasn't that we weren't smart enough. It's just that we didn't have the information. So the reason why we're doing this podcast is, one, I could talk shit on Zoom with my brother all day, you know what I mean? But it's for you know what I mean? But it's for us to I'm sitting there cursing. Sorry, Peaches and Mom and all y'all. If you listen, we love y'all. But I mean, what it's about is like, real estate game, marketing game, tech game for y'all to soak up and learn and put into action for yourself, man. Because like, we can change our situations, and we ain't gotta all be in the street and doing whatever we're doing, but like, we can do legit business and make great things happen, man. So that's what it's about, man. So big bro, anything else you want to say to the people?
Be careful the circle you keep. Stay focused on your dreams, and don't let nobody try to kill it. Like, if you know you can do it, bro, ain't nobody out here gonna tell you you can't do it. Because I'm telling you, can't nobody tell me I can't do nothing. If I set my mind to it, bro, it's gonna get done. And you can do it too. Just don't let nobody kill your dreams. Like, people out there, they will kill your dreams, because if you get up and you're successful at what you're doing, they don't have excuses anymore. They can't say, oh, the man holding me down. Oh, the system set up against me. Nah, because both of y'all came from the mud and you did it. So they're going to have to look themselves in the mirror and be like, yo, bro, I just been BSing. And it's easier to snuff your dreams out than to look yourself in the mirror. Well, not you, but them to look themselves in the mirror and say, yo, bro, I've been BSing. You know what I'm saying? I got to get my life together. But don't let nobody kill your dreams. But have time, keep it to yourself, and just show and prove. Because I remember I was telling homies that I'm going into real estate. They're like, yo, you bugging. But once it's working, they want to do it, and I'm cool with that. But I just know I've learned I had to show and prove. Like, no matter who it is. Like, even with my mom, I'd be like, yo, what you doing with these properties? Yo, you should do this, you should do that. And she don't listen. So I just be knocking them out. And she'd be like, yo, what number you at now? Like 6. It's knocking them out. Where you at now? 8. Like, obviously I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? So now we have those conversations, and it makes me feel really good, because mom's built a business from nothing. You know what I mean? But the old ways don't technically work anymore. And it's a lot of things she didn't know, but I know them now. But she see me doing the right thing and being successful at it. So now she trusts my advice. So keep pushing.
You know, it's funny, man. And like, one of my boys said the same thing too. He's like, man, like, it ain't really your family's job to always believe in you. It's your job to get out there and show and prove and let them know, okay, cool. Like, nah, my plan is working, and it is what it is now. And when you actually do execute like that, that's when their belief not only for you comes in, but the respect also increases too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I can't even add no more to that, bro. That's game right there, man. So this is officially episode 4 of the Brick by Brick podcast. My big bro just kind of broke it down how we doing it brick by brick and building it, man. So like that's on the real estate hard asset side, from hard money to the bank financing. We definitely got to get your homegirl on, because you're like that's a whole racket game she was giving you.
That's a whole play.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was mind blown. I'm like, you're awesome. Like,
yeah,
respectfully, like, you're awesome, son.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're gonna grow, and $100 million.
That's the first goal.
Before 2025, $100 million, bro. Let's go.
That's the first goal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we talking about that. Then I'll give you a little piece of next episode. So we talked about the brick and mortar businesses and investments. So my side is more the tech side. So we're going to get into Airbnb, what the process has been like building that up. You know what I'm saying? I love how you were talking about project management as far as just getting the homes rehabbed and built up. But I've been learning project management just from a tech CEO side. You know what I mean? So we're definitely going to get into that, because there's so many parallels for what you was talking about, man. But episode 4, appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in with us, man. We got the merch coming soon. If it's not up by now, by the time I take this episode out. And man, appreciate y'all. And big bro, love you, man. Another dope episode. All right, y'all. Later.